So for continuing to tell the truth, despite enormous pressure, for defending science against politics, Dr. Luber is this year's winner of the Hugh Hefner First Amendment Award in the government category.
Thank you so much. Before I begin, I've been directed by the General Counsel at the government agency in which I work to deliver a disclaimer. The following words are those of my own. They represent my own opinion, not the position of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and I'm speaking on my own behalf and not for the government. I never wanted this award. I never wanted any media attention. All I ever wanted to do was conduct the science that I've been trained to do and have been able to do for the last 17 years. Actually, the agency that I work for, the CDC, didn't want me here as well. I couldn't believe that the agency actually denied me the receipt of a First Amendment award for speaking out on my First Amendment rights. And I actually told them that. I said, do you really want me not to get this award? Because that's going to make a bad story. And they said, okay. But only after the intervention of the great folks at PEER, Public Employees for Environmental Responsibility, did we get the reversal that allowed me to accept this award. My, I guess, former job at the CDC was, as mentioned, to research and document the threats to health that climate change poses. I've been a lead author for the UN's Intergovernmental on Climate Change's Fifth Assessment Report and a convening lead author for the third and fourth U.S. National Climate Assessment. I've written over 50 journal articles and the definitive textbook on the subject. I'm not bragging, but I've spent my adult years dedicated to this issue. This is something I'm passionate about. After 14 years of research, I'm here to tell you that it does pose a grave threat to public health. Not only the health, but the livelihood and livability of humans on this planet. I feel that in some regards, my job has been to document in minute detail the slow demise of human survivability on this planet. I'm not kidding. I know that we've seen images of polar bears drowning in melting glaciers, but the real under-recognized story of climate change is its threat to human beings. It isn't about polar bears, plants, or penguins, but really about people. It isn't some distant threat at some distant date. It is a real and present danger now and in our communities. It's about impacts that are already being felt right now, close to home, and about threats that we have just barely begun to understand, and we have a lot of work to do. Unfortunately, I'm unable to continue this work. In the fall of 2016, just after the election, I was ordered to cancel a large meeting on climate change that we had organized at CDC. We, in my infinite wisdom, had decided Al Gore would be a great keynote speaker. The meeting was to happen 3 weeks after the inauguration. My supervisors thought that the optics and timing of this event were bad and that I should call off the event. I challenged this decision, but they canceled the event anyway. I argued that wouldn't canceling the event cause more press than actually having the event in the first place? Nobody cares about a science event at CDC. And just have it, and nobody will notice. But as soon as I challenged this decision, I found my access to speaking engagements, media requests, television appearances abruptly halted. I was called into the director's office and told to stop using the words climate change. Luber, can you find some other way to talk about it? Call it extreme weather. I said, it's not extreme weather. It's about all kinds of things. Find some other words to use. I thought this was ridiculous and refused. We needed to stand by the science and not pay attention to politics. Not long after, I was served a termination notice that detailed a long list of interesting, fabricated, anonymous, and false charges. Only through the dedicated work of a group of lawyers at a watchdog group named PEER, Public Employees for Environmental Responsibility, and the timely reporting of the New York Times was this farce revealed, and I was able to retain my job. However, while I'm still employed, I'm unable to continue the work that I've dedicated my career to. In fact, I'm actually prohibited from entering the CDC campus that I work at. I'm on what you call a BOLO list, be on the lookout, which means that if I try to enter campus, I'm stopped by security, myself and my car are searched, and I'm not allowed on campus. I work full-time at home. My yard looks really good. Free speech is not free. While it might appear like a profound act of individual courage to speak out against injustice, censorship, and political oppression, the fact is that no one can go through this alone, especially myself. As such, I have many people to thank for supporting me through this ordeal. First, my mom. Thank you, Mom. Second, to the love of my life, Miss Bree Langford. To the extremely talented and dedicated people at PEER, Public Employees for Environmental Responsibility, especially Kevin Bell, the true hero of my story, who has worked tirelessly for this cause. Also, Jeff Rook, Susan Sargent, Tim Whitehouse, Peter Jenkins, Paula Dinnerstein, who back up Kevin on this case. I'd also like to thank Laura Turner Seidel and the Turner Foundation. Finally, I'd like to thank Hugh Hefner for his legacy that he has left, and Christy Hefner and the Hugh Hefner Foundation for this award, and for their truly heroic efforts in protecting free speech and the First Amendment. I'm truly humbled. Thank you.